This program is brought to you by realestate.com.au. Keep moving with Australia's #1 address in property.
It's great to have your company here on Business Now. Let's take you around the housing markets in our capital cities over the weekend. And across the country, 1,476 auctions. The clearance rate just a tick over 60%, which is down slightly on last week. In Sydney, just over 450 auctions with a clearance rate there above 57%. In Melbourne, 638 auctions. That's picking up. The clearance rate here strong, above 70%. In Brisbane, 59 auctions. 61% of those were sold. Adelaide was similar, 67 auctions, also 61% sold. And in Canberra, 47 auctions, the clearance rate there just under 64%. Well, Anne Flaherty is an economist with REA Group and joins me now. Anne, many thanks for your time. Look, we understand a few rate cuts. We understand that'll help housing markets, but there's no real sign of strength emerging just yet, despite all the forecasts, is there?
Well, I think we are going to see things pick up, particularly if we do get a rate cut as expected on Tuesday. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens, particularly in markets like Melbourne, where we're seeing signs of a bit of a recovery. One thing to watch, though, is that the government announced a lot of initiatives for first home buyers that were going to be expanded, but as yet, those aren't coming in, and they're expected really towards the end of last year or early next year. So I think it'll be creating a bit of an interesting dynamic. You've got lower interest rates coming in, which is going to encourage more investment. And then some investors might say, you know what, we're probably going to have a wave of first home buyer demand pick up once those schemes come in. So there could be a bit of an opportunity for buyers at the moment. So
you're saying, even looking at the housing finance figures last week that came out, that you could get a sense that there were more investors looking for finance and effectively maybe trying to get in ahead of those first home buyers?
I think there certainly will be a lot of investors looking to get in before the first home buyers. And if we look at the lending figures, new loans to investors are up about 9% from a year ago, whereas loans to first home buyers are up only about 1%. And I think that we're going to continue to see that skewed more towards the investor side over the next couple of months. As I mentioned, for first home buyers that are reliant on those expanded schemes coming in, they might be biding their time a little longer. And of course, that creates that opportunity in the meantime.
Because that helped to buy scheme that the Albanese government has got, where you'd effectively only need a 5% deposit. That's going to be a boon for first home buyers, but you're going to have to wait until that scheme actually gets initiated and it passes through the parliament before you actually get the opportunity to use it.
Exactly, and that one's not coming in until most likely January next year. So I think that the fact that we're seeing those income caps removed on that scheme, we're going to see a lot of first home buyers take advantage of that. We're very likely to see stronger price growth when that does come in, particularly from that increased demand from first home buyers. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic we have at the moment, where we've got this promise of this scheme that's going to be coming in, but not for a while yet. So I think the promise of that scheme, the prospect of lower interest rates, I think that investor demand is very likely to grow further over the coming months.
And what about developers on the other side to actually build apartments in particular for first home buyers? Do you sense that they might, if they've got projects ready to go that they've been sitting on, now have justification, especially with rates coming down, to go ahead with some of those projects?
Well, I think a lot of developers are pretty pleased about these projects, particularly your house and land developers in those more affordable areas where they do target that first home buyer cohort. So I think it's very encouraging in the sense that the developers I speak to tend to be kind of pleased that this is coming in. Having said that, a lot of the higher density homes in the inner and middle ring suburbs, they're still quite challenged at the moment. The cost per square metre of building those kinds of homes at the moment is still very, very high relative to the price at which they're selling for. So the majority of the development we're going to continue to see is, I think, going to be driven by two cohorts. You've got your first home buyers buying those new houses in outer suburbs, and your downsizer baby boomer group who are looking to purchase those more expensive premium stocks like apartments and whatnot.
It's going to be interesting to watch it. I'll tell you what, we'll see the first jigsaw puzzle piece fall into place tomorrow with that interest rate decision by the RBA. Anne Flaherty, always good to chat to you. Many thanks for your time today.
Thank you.